The Office of the Parliament celebrates International Women's Day 2023. DigitALL, Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality. Hard work, dedication, and impeccable customer service are just some of the traits needed in this demanding career.
My early work life was with a multinational bank. And in that bank, I used to say, if you tripped, it was a matter of policy. At the same time, if you told a customer thank you and they were pleased with your performance, it was a matter of policy. And it put a certain order in my life. It put a sense of discipline and cleanliness and keeping everything tidy around you so that you can think in a logical manner and follow through. And that grounding made for what I think was the raw material of my evolution in corporate governance. Corporate governance is basic principles on which you operate as a participant in corporate life. It includes transparencies. You must be open. You must know when to apologize and when to praise. You must acknowledge when you've made mistakes, but at the same time, you must be able to give information and be clear and direct. It includes as well fairness. You must be fair to those who are around you. And it includes obedience to some rule of law, whether the rule of law is corporate principles and direction or compliance with regulatory requirements. There is a rule of law, or law, that operates in corporate life that one must adhere to. So at the end of the day, I say corporate governance is a way of life. Your head must be in that place before you can practice it. There are very many, but one of the ones that I think is still a factor, not only for me, but for women in general, is to be really heard, to be listened to. So I remember one of my mentors used to speak in very soft tones in the boardroom, very soft tones. So you had to stop to hear him. He never tried to shout. And I learned from him that when you have a point to deliver, wait until the room is absolutely silent. And then make sure that you're heard to the end of your statement. If you're interrupted, stop, because nobody's listening. I think that is a fundamental lesson in how women are heard, not just in corporate life, even at home. Speaking to your children, it is a lesson in how we become acknowledged with our soft voices. I think that is one of our challenges, to be really heard. The other is of our own doing. I am not denying the importance of firsts, but I think we have to move away from that. I like to celebrate firsts. I celebrate that we have the first female commissioner of police. I celebrate that we had past tense, the first female president, but we have another female president. So I think that the first needs to be removed from our language, so that when we have true equity and equality, it doesn't matter who's first. I think that is a challenge we must overcome, and it will come in time. I think that we have to remove the chip on our own shoulder. Just like Black Lives Matter, women's lives matter. And we have to remove that chip because nobody else will. Well, there are quite a few, but I think the most significant for me now is my recent award of a Doctor of Laws from the University of the West Indies. And it was most significant because I feel as if I didn't work towards it. I feel as if it was given to me. It was an acknowledgement of my work that I did not expect. I didn't even know anybody noticed. So I enjoyed what I was doing, and somebody said, well, here's this gift, So it was very, very thrilling and touching for me. Corporate life is a way of life, and it is very demanding. In my time, it required long hours. Now we try to manage our hours and manage our stress and manage work-life balance in a different kind of way. I'm not sure that we've got to a place where we can ignore the long hours, but certainly emphasis on productivity, efficiency, hard work, meeting expectations, having personal performance standards. I think all those things will hold us in good stead. And at the end of the day, the progressive use of our energies come out of the raw material or the foundation that we set through education and an ability to interact with persons and serve persons because we love people. You know, I always say, no matter what business you're in customer service, first and foremost. And the product you sell is the means by which you meet the standards of customer service. If you're not prepared for it, don't do it. It's not for you. And unless we come to understand that customer service is the only way that we can interact as human beings and really show love of each other, I don't think that corporate life will foster. You can't participate in corporate life unless you like people. It's a people business. Well, I think we're on the road to the protection of that space. But at the same time, I also feel that women and girls must increase their knowledge of the space and control it themselves. So digital space is vast. We can't get around it, you know, by sticking to where we're comfortable or the space that we have become used to. So we must understand when we do things in the digital space, just how far it could go and protect ourselves. Nobody else is responsible for that. It is as how you would protect your body as your temple. And digital space is no different. It is how you protect your reputation. It is in how you protect your work. It is in how you protect your home even. Because, you know, it can interrupt your family time. It can interrupt the kind of interaction that you have with those around you if you are beholden to the space. So I think we must take control and define what that space means for us, how we will control it, and how we will manage it. Until we come to that time, just like every other thing that we celebrate, until we come to that time where there's no question about equity for women or equality for women, until we really understand the things that make us unique and the things that make our men unique, and we can share those experiences and interact in a full and free way, we have to give emphasis to these things. And these are just reminders of what we need to do. And we need to continue the reminders until it just comes to be the way we do what we do. You know, so I think it is absolutely important. And I think that in every home, there must be something that celebrates women and girls in that home on that day.
The Office of the Parliament celebrates International Women's Day 2023. DigitALL, innovation and technology for gender equality.